This is Errol Marks from the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We're here at Super Bowl 59. Radio Rub. I mean, Radio Row. It could be something. If it's a genie in a bottle, I could if I could rub this and something pop out of that, I'd be very. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
And when you're rubbing it, it's definitely something that's might pop out. Anyways, we're here at Radio Row, and we're very happy to have a former WWE wrestler, Danielle Moniet. Danielle, what's up?
Hi, guys. How are you?
I'm good, man.
My wrestling name was Summer Rae, so that's
Summer
maybe.
Rae.
I knew it.
Yeah, Summer Rae.
So we had a bet earlier when Prince was on, and Prince was like, "What is that belt for?" And I was like, "Pretty sure she was in WWE."
It's a bit confusing because so many wrestling fans have been recognizing me, like especially when we're getting credentials out with civilians, and so they were like, "Oh, wrestling," and they were confused that this was WWE, which makes sense. So you guys both were right, I guess.
It kind of looks like a Rocky belt.
It's heavy as shit.
It is heavy as shit.
Did you try it on?
Nathan, come over here. I want to see if I can use this as a weapon on you.
Yeah.
This I might go to jail.
So this is the Police Gazette Diamond Belt. It is the oldest belt in all of combat sports. So what you were saying, when John Cena wears his WWE Championship belt, it's because this was the first piece of metal to be put around anyone's waist in 1891.
That's amazing.
And so it's cool. And we just got exclusive rights to it over bare knuckle boxing, everything. So a lot of the guys that come to BYB, they come from either UFC because they're sick of being on the ground, MMA. They want to stand up box, pure box. We got a lot of BKFC guys coming over. It's great. We'll have to get you guys to a bare knuckle fight.
100%. I've been
get him in the fight.
I don't know, but he get knocked out in 5 seconds.
I'll be on the side. I'll just produce. It's fine.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because with the gloves, being like 5 to 10 ounces.
Yes.
You can continuously get hit in the head, and the concussions.
No concussions.
Yeah, the concussions are so high with boxing. And
Yes.
the misconception with bare knuckle is that it's worse for you because you see the blood, but really that's just getting cut by your knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so many fights that are called within minutes of the first round because our cut men will not let you get too close to the orbital bone because you go blind. So then the crowd boos, but we have really strict laws and each city is governed by the state. And so the state comes out there and they shut it down.
I've been doing mixed martial arts for a very, very long time. I have a black belt in judo. I have a black belt in Kempo and Taekwondo. So I've done it. I've done it a long time. I've been around a lot of bare knuckle fighters. And what's unique about bare knuckles, it's completely different from mixed martial arts. And people don't understand that. We've seen so many guys that's transition. And one of the guys that's trying, and I've been hearing Conor McGregor thinking about transitioning from mixed martial arts into bare knuckles. And supposedly he wants to fight Jake Paul. This is ridiculous. It's all about money. You know what I mean? That's what this has become.
Yeah, he did Money Back recently.
Yes.
And so I don't know if he would ever step in. To me, that seems a little silly because he's just so great and he's a figurehead. So I don't know, you don't want to Michael Jordan baseball it,
Well,
so.
a little background with me and Conor McGregor is.
Is there beef?
There is beef. All right.
Oh
so
my God.
there has been beef. He's laughing over there because we've had our
Give me
problems.
the gossip.
Well, the gossip was a couple of years ago. I had a radio show called. Well, I'm not going to say it was an MMA show, and I went at him and some of his peers during the show, and then somebody told him he attacked me on Twitter. He told me if you step in Ireland, he's going to bury me 6 feet under, and I told him any day, any time. And then I was at, I think it was in Brooklyn, and when he threw that chair through the window, I was there. I was one of the reasons why he got a little bit angry because I was one of the guys that was starting the beef with him and calling him a little peewee. And he's I'm not going to tell you what I was saying, but but honest to God, I've heard he's a good guy. But I don't like
marketer.
Him. Yeah, so am I. I like to market too.
For sure. And I saw recently, where were they? The Paul brothers with Connor going to the inauguration.
We're at the inauguration.
And so they were like kind of talking to each other at the back of the bus, and then it got like that's how you get booked. That's how you get promoters to put something together. I think as long as the money's there, that they'll probably fight. But I don't know if the money's there with you, so you guys probably will not fight.
Listen, there doesn't have to be money. First of all, I might not be the one that's going to be drawing the money, but I'm definitely the one. I'm going to be the one that's going to beat his ass.
Okay.
So if there's any kind of thought to that, and he wants to step in the ring with me.
You have to hear about this all the time?
Oh, 100%. Every yes. I sit back, and you want to know something? I'm honest. I'm not going to sit here and say, ooh, I know what I am, and I know what I'm capable of doing. So I've challenged. I even challenged Jake Paul because, honest to God,
Yeah.
Jake Paul doesn't know what he's doing in the ring.
Sure.
He's a salesman. He's a great marketer. And that's what
For
you need to do. Mixed martial arts, boxing, all these sports, even wrestling.
Mhm.
It's all about how you market your product.
Yeah,
If you
and
can
telling a
market it.
story,
100%.
which he did with Tyson and them. So, who do you think? Let me change the subject real fast. Not really, but who do you think would win in a bare knuckle fight? Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is stronger.
Fast.
Yeah. And
Really?
you want me to give you the reason why?
Yes.
Jalen Hurts is first of all very strong in the legs. He's squatting 600 pounds. He's very quick with his legs. He's fast and he's got good feet.
Mhm.
So when you're fighting, and as you know, you have to have very good feet and very good hands. And Jalen Hurts actually in the offseason trains in mixed martial arts and boxing.
Oh,
So
did you know that, Don?
so
Jalen Hurts trains in boxing in the offseason, mixed martial arts. So
Yes.
they both said Jalen, without a doubt.
100%.
Would win.
Jalen, they have a play called the tush push for Jalen, where he's just being as tough as he can. He didn't even never get to see Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
in that play. That's never
Okay,
happening.
so what about between the Mahomes brother, or not the Mahomes brothers, the Kelseys? Because they've like obviously boxed when they're kids, gotten fights. If it's just stand up boxing, not MMA, no takedowns, you can dirty box. So you can pull them in.
So here, it doesn't even have to do with their talent.
I've got
The
one.
older brother's going to beat the younger brother.
Everyone
Because
keeps
it's gonna
saying
be
that.
the
It's like an
the
older
dirtier
brother
thing to
thing.
do.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you why you're wrong?
Okay.
Travis Kelce has long arms. He's
That was
longer
good.
than Jason Kelce. If they were to fight and they weren't related and they weren't brothers, because brothers don't fight brothers. But if they do, I mean, Logan and Jake are supposedly going to fight soon.
Yeah,
but that's
right.
that's a selling marketing. He's smiling. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's all about marketing. What I see with the Kelce brothers is if they ever fought, I would look at Travis. Travis obviously is very fast with his, his hands. He's very quick hips. And when you're fighting and when you're boxing with your upper body and your upper body strength, what are the two things that they say? Quick hips and long arms, because you can throw a jab and set up your power punches. I think Travis would win, being that he's the younger brother, so he has the youth and he recoups faster than Jason. So I would say Travis would beat Jason because of his long arms. And by the way, the arm size is a huge difference. You're talking about
You're right.
3
Reach.
inches. So
Reach. Okay.
yeah, so I would go Travis over Jason, not because he's a Swiftie. That's for damn sure.
Slight rebuttal. Jason was maybe the fastest center that's ever played this game. He is fantastic.
And Travis could go down as the greatest tight end of all time.
Absolutely. I'm just saying for the speed part of it, I think that might be even.
Mm.
Maybe even close. Because, look, obviously Travis is a receiver, so he's fast. I think the thing that is just different is that even though my little brother was stronger than me, he's never going to beat me in a fight.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
just gonna
that big
happen.
brother.
It's
That
never going to happen.
Also, center, it's like lower to the ground. So if you could do takedowns, it would
better
probably be
leverage.
Travis.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jason Kelce was the one to get down on that tush push, where everyone else just basically
You
jumps
like
on
to
top
get
of him.
down.
He just
on
likes
a lot
saying
of tush
tush push.
pushes,
It's
right?
my
He
favorite
just
name
likes
of
saying
play.
tush push.
It's a great name
He
of a
just
play.
likes talking about tushes.
Tush
I
push.
I mean, there
this
are
guy-
worse things.
Yeah, look, he's a big tushy. I mean, he's wearing a tiger shirt. I mean, he's as tushy as they get. So
Well,
he
tush
put the L up
push.
because he's trying to tell me that I'm a loser. But you know what?
Mhm.
Anybody that puts up an
No,
L
it's
sign
'cause he's
means.
LSU. That's what he's doing.
Is that
Oh,
what
yeah.
it is?
Yeah, it's LSU.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
East Carolina.
East Carolina.
So similar colors were gold and
Yes.
purple.
Yeah. Well,
Same place Vince McMahon went.
I like your colors better than
I
his.
think
You know what
was
I
that
mean?
Chris Johnson there back then?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
2K,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yes.
we didn't win any games for the first 3 years I went there. And then with Chris Johnson, we'd started winning, but I had just left. So I still would go back, but still sold out crowds. Everyone was drunk.
You know, speaking of Vince McMahon, I mean, I
Yes.
watched the documentary.
Yes,
okay?
so did I.
Yes, and I'm very interested and I'm very intrigued. You're a woman. You were in the WWE.
Yes.
What type of man was Vince McMahon to you?
I have nothing but great things to say. So that doesn't mean that two things can't be true
Of
and that the
course.
women's didn't have that experience. But for me, it was great. Like he was from East Carolina. His wife went there. We went to visit the troops overseas, and
I
he
saw that,
picked he picked 4 people to go, and it was me, Big Show, R-Truth, and I always had a great experience. I always felt like it was very professional and open door policy to come in and give my ideas. So yeah, that was for me.
Was there somebody, was there a superstar in the WWE? Like when you saw him, you're like, oh my God, I have the opportunity to wrestle with that guy.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, when you see like the Big Show or like Mark Henry Or Great Khali. Like Khali was like
Right.
7'3", and he
Yes.
just has that walk where like everything's like a little off.
You gotta walk.
And he would just be like, Summer. And I'm like, it's crazy. So I remember being in England after I left WWE. I was in England and I was sitting at a chair with Bret Hart. And he usually doesn't really, I mean, we know each other, but he's not like sitting down with me and having a conversation. He starts telling me this conversation about like back when we were on the road, and he's telling me stories. And I'm like, this is crazy. Here comes Ric Flair. Rick comes and sits next to me. And Rick's great because he's from North Carolina. I wrestled with his daughter, Charlotte. So I'm sitting with Bret Hart, Ric Flair, me. And I'm already like, this is so weird. Like, this is my life. It was very like out of body. And then freaking Taker walks in. Like, this was like, it was in Manchester United. And like Taker got paid a lot to be there. I don't think he was supposed to be there. He got paid a lot. So Taker comes in. He didn't really sit with us. And I just like sat in myself. I'm like, these are my coworkers. These are just people to me. But I used to watch them growing up. And it's just the weirdest thing. And I don't think, I like that I can step out of my body and say that. Like, I feel like some people just go through life and they're like, oh, yeah. But that was weird. And I think almost everyone, especially when you see Big Show messaged me the other day, like he gave me my finisher, was his old finisher. So just little stuff like that where it's just a weird like fraternity. We're all like secret society where we all just know each other. Yeah.
I want to be a part of a secret society.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I
you guys are in your own.
I want to create my own.
Kind of.
I want to create one. I want to create one. I'm a little lost with, outer body stuff, because if I actually could jump out of my body, I'm going to jump into somebody I want to be. So if there's like, Donovan McNabb or something like that, I'll jump. Oh, let me see that. Can I have a samurai? Let me see. Give me one of those.
Well, also, I don't know how he found that, because it's really hard to find that's not signed on eBay. So when he said I brought this for this like collector guy, I'm like, how did you find that? Because I signed him at oh my God, that picture. It's just god awful. When you work with all men and they pick like the worst picture of you. Not to mention that wasn't my wrestling gear, and now it's immortalized. I wore that gear once, and then for my whole career I had a certain gear and it was never tassels.
Are you a red fan or a pink fan? You have to be more pink, right?
Whatever.
What's your favorite color?
Whatever I get paid. I don't really do favorites.
You don't have favorite colors?
No.
Nothing?
Like people are like, what's your favorite number or color?
I don't have a number, because a number would probably, every time I put out a number out there.
I look good in red.
You do look good in red.
Yeah,
I
red,
think you
pink,
look good in
I don't know.
anything. I think yellow. I think pink, purple. That's my favorite color.
Yeah.
Purple. You have
But
to
my
rock.
grandma has some of the. My grandma thinks it's crazy.
Why
like,
is that?
She just thinks it's so weird that I'm a Barbie. I mean, it's weird. But
I'm
even
a
like,
Barbie girl.
I have a,
Oh,
yeah,
look at
baseball
that.
card.
Oh, look
But
at this.
the video game's the craziest. Like playing with yourself in a video game. is so
Somebody's got to
weird.
play with himself.
I
know?
know.
Different kind of
No one
video
does you like you
Speedy
do
was playing
yourself.
himself when he was watching it.
But it's so crazy. And my grandma used to watch it, and when I would get suplex, she would like laugh. And it's so weird because I was a bad guy and like I'm beating someone's ass. I'm like, why are you laughing? Like, it's not funny. Like, I'm doing my job. And I think it was because she thought I was getting hurt. Like, she didn't know how to like process it. And she's almost 96 years old now.
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah. And she asked me all the time, she's like, what are you doing this? Are you going to wrestle again? Don't wrestle. Like, she just doesn't want me to wrestle.
My
I'm like,
grandfather's
no, I'm not.
94. So
Yeah.
we have something in
They
common
love
there.
it. Old people love watching wrestling.
He's in the gym all the time.
Oh,
3 days a week.
really?
That my
Good for
grandfather
him.
swimming, doing laps. That man, he's
Yeah.
got more life than anybody I've ever seen. More
That's
life than a younger
amazing.
kid.
Will you be like that at that age?
Look at me, man. I'm taking care of myself. I mean,
It's true.
seriously, I like to rock. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Danielle,
I want
I
to
got a
rock.
couple
Yes.
two quick
Go
wrestling
ahead,
questions.
please.
I'm a
Please,
fan.
let's hear it.
And the first one is more fun,
Mhm.
heel or face?
For me, heel. Like I had to one time. Emma was concussed and she wasn't going to say anything, so I spoke up for her, and they were like, "Okay, that's fine. You'll just work in her place." I was like, "I don't work, baby." And instead of doing heel match, they made me work babyface. I had to kind of have a comeback. I hated it. Like it just didn't feel natural. I felt like a cheerleader.
Yeah, I think everyone says heel because it's more
Yeah.
fun to play the bad guy.
Like even if I came back and I got a babyface reaction, I still would work heel and bitchy, and I would just be over as a face.
I'm a heel.
You know.
I'm a
I was
heel.
gonna say,
Yeah.
Errol, that was
I'm
my
a heel.
thing.
But I
I'm a
wasn't
bad
like your
guy. I'm a bad
typical
guy.
heel where I was like me. I just was like, well, I didn't think I was a bad guy. Summer Rae just thought she was that bitch, and I'm like, well, I'm not the bad guy. You're the bad, and I think that's the best kind of bad guy, like a mean girl.
For sure.
I am that bitch.
Yeah, I'm just that bitch.
Follow up. You mentioned Charlotte Flair. She just won the
Yeah.
Women's Royal Rumble.
Yes.
She just came back from an injury.
They got a women's
most
Royal Rumble
accomplished.
now.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was
last
in
year.
it 3 years
Jesus.
ago.
I mean, seriously, I'm
Only
lost.
5 years.
They start the pay-per-view with the women's one. They have a couple of championship matches. Then they do the men's
Yeah,
one.
it was good this
It
year.
was really good this year.
Yeah.
Charlotte came in. Roxana Perez, NXT,
Yeah.
seems to be the next, really up and coming. They had her in with Charlotte at the end.
Yeah,
You know that means that they trust her.
for sure.
sure.
Trust Charlotte or Roxanne?
Well, obviously Charlotte.
Yeah,
being
yeah,
trusted,
yeah.
But as far as Roxanne and just these younger women now coming up
Yeah.
through the NXT and through just in the indies, even you're seeing this everywhere.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the state of women's wrestling at this?
Oh,
point
it's
in
a
time?
great time. I mean, in general, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. But for the women, it's just crazy. Like just to see how far they came since the Total Diva days. Even when we were doing Total Divas and we were making that women's movement, when you're in it, you don't realize that you're making history. And then when I step back now and I look at 10 years, I'm like, oh my gosh, like my time used to be cut, or, I would only get crossover segments when I was with the boys. But even then I'd be like, great, I'm with the boys, like watch this. So yeah, it's really great. And I love how NXT is its own self. Like a lot of people don't even want to be moved up from NXT. And Fandango just went back to NXT this past week, and he doesn't want to be on the road like in all these cities. So it's become its own accredited different entity, and like people want to be there. So I love that. It's great.
Yeah, Fandango, and then there's the Super Bowl. I like the Fandango word.
Yes.
What does that mean? Anyways?
Fandango.
Fandango. Does it dangle? Does it dangle?
No, Fandango's
Oh.
the place you buy the tickets
Oh,
from,
I got
right?
it,
For
I
Super
got
Bowl.
it. I
But
got it.
he's also a wrestler, and I was with him for like a year and a half.
Oh.
Not in real life.
I got you. I
Not-
got it. It was part of the wrestling
not
game.
IRL.
Right.
He
I
was,
got it.
He
I
was
got
the
it.
dancer. He
He's a dancer. So how
fantastic.
I got on TV was I was a dancer. That's why I'm wearing like
Oh, I
this
see.
little tassel stuff, because I was
Oh.
trying to be like dancer-ish, but no.
Are you a dancer? Are you a good dancer?
No.
No?
But that was why I was a bad guy, because it was like, hey,
I could break dance.
I'm a great dancer, but I was shitty.
I could break dance. I love dancing. It's one of
Yeah.
my favorite things to do. Okay.
All right. Well, I think I have to go. Sorry,
I think you
guys.
do, but it was very nice
Thank
to
you
meet
so
you.
much.
We have to stay in
guys.
touch, and when
Yeah.
you're not here, we'll get your email and we'll get you on
Do you
the show.
want to come to Bare Knuckle?
100%.
Where do y'all live?
We live in New York.
Mm.
We could fly there.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be the last state, because
Where's
UFC.
like Oklahoma or something?
Even no, you would think. Even UFC, it was the last place was New York that Dana could get in.
Yes.
It's just hard.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe Jersey. We should be in Jersey.
All
or
right.
something
So
soon, but-
Speedy,
Okay.
Speedy will get your information,
Okay.
and we'll stay in touch.
Okay, well, thanks,
Very
guys.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Danielle Moniet, ladies and gentlemen.